right after my meal. I don't know why, but I feel tired and lethargic. I don't know why, but I develop whiteheads and red pus-filled pimple on my face. Is this also happening with you? Are you also going with this problem? If it is, then in this video, I'm gonna reveal the root reason of why it is happening to you. Because I am someone who has suffered severe hormonal cystic acne for more than 5 years. And in this channel, you get info dedicated towards cleaning your acne from the root cause. But before telling you that, I want to tell you one incident that happened due to it, because of which I was unacceptable socially. I was getting trolled by my so-called friends who made disgusted face because of my acne. It is a time just before a week for my upcoming exam. I was at a stressful condition as I haven't done my study, but yet I was left with only two conditions. Either I will do my study, wholly focus so that I get good marks, or I will find solution for my acne cure, to clear my acne. And you know what I did? I just totally ignored my acne. I literally ignored my acne to focus on my study completely. In that week, I grew 10 times more acne. Due to my ignorance, I developed severe cystic deep acne, which literally left out permanent scars on my face, which you can also see still now, a day before my exam. I just looked myself in front of the mirror and just kept seeing myself. I was literally filled with whiteheads on my face. Multiple whiteheads, literally covering my top, literally covering my cheeks and even chin. Not only that, I was also developing severe blind pimples. I know you also do have those blind pimples. Those blind pimples are the pimples that stays on your forehead, mainly on forehead and temples. Just stays. Literally. It just stays. It doesn't burst out. It doesn't release its pus. It does nothing. And it just keeps on growing without any reason. It just grows and grows and grows until your face look a freaking disgusted. Anyone would see you and feel disgusting, as there is a blind pimple being on your temples and just keep on growing without any reason. I also developed that with the whiteheads at the first place. But I'm grateful for one thing, that I have a terrace. Just above my house, there is a terrace where I can just take a breath. I can just take a breathe and relax. But even sitting at my terrace, I just kept on questioning myself. Why am I the only one to suffer from this immense, painful acne? Why am I the only one to go through this? Why am I the only sufferer of this acne? Why does this acne is not causing any problem to anybody other than me? Why does nobody has acne? Just me. Why am I? If there is a reason, I will probably solve it now. But I don't even know any reason of why I'm having acne. And that is the painful part of acne. Because till now, you are literally unaware of why it is happening. I was also unaware of why it is happening to me. I was depressed, sad, extremely exhausted. I stayed for that for a few long minutes. And somehow just convinced myself that somehow, there would be a miracle. I would sleep today and the next morning, my face would be clear. So I just went down, took my dinner at 10:30 p.m. Noted. I took my dinner at 10:30 p.m., drank water, and at 11 p.m. I slept completely with the hope that tomorrow there would be a miracle which will completely remove my acne. And do you know what happened the next day? You know what happened? Yeah, that's the thing, yeah. It is my acne did not go now. It literally increased. I got 4 more whiteheads on my cheek, plus 1 more blind pimple on my right temple. I was freaking... I don't know how to express that. I was not frustrated, I was not angry, but I was literally very much crazy that time. Because I know that as I do need to go for this exam, it is my preliminary exam. I can't take a leave just for my acne. And if I do go, I don't have any option other than getting trolled by my so-called friends, who are not even my friends. Why am I calling them friends? I will call them the shit person. Those shit person, I know they are gonna call me the pimple boy. Here comes the pimple boy, who don't even have anything on its face other than just pimples. The ugly looking face. It hurts. Actually, it does. You don't know what is somebody facing through. The so-called act of being cool by passing such comments actually hurts. I did too. It hurt me too. But even through, you need to move on. You need to pass your time. So I just convinced myself in front of the mirror that before going to school, whatever do happen in my school, I promise myself that I will do anything to cure my acne. Until that, I will never give up on clearing it. I found a little courage, I found a little belief in myself and went to the school. And that exactly happened. They called me, here comes the pimple boy, he is Pimples. Never goes because he is a pimple boy. I had a lot of anger. I could say multiple things on right arm's face, but I couldn't. Because if I did spoke anything, they would troll me more. They would be trolling me more. I just kept quiet and sat on my seat. I did my exam. While back of the mind, the only thought is I will return to my home and search for the solution for sure. I did my exam. As I did study, My exam went good. I returned home to find the freaking answer, solutions. But I know one thing. If I just randomly search on this YouTube, search on this internet, search on any of the online platform, I will get near. I will not even get any closer to what the root cause. So I just dump all of this shit and just sat. Took a breath and just thought of why is it happening. Something clicked. Wait a minute. Yesterday night, I was just having a few lesser pimples on my face. But right in the morning, I got few more whiteheads and blind pimples. That would be a reason that something happened that night, yesterday's night, that caused me to break out. I started thinking. And I actually found one thing. And exactly that is that thing that because of which I developed whiteheads and pimples. Okay? It is me. Yeah. I look like a dinosaur in the so-called my drawing. I look like it. But acne after meal. The problem was with me that I told you that note one thing. At 10:30 PM took my dinner, drank water and slept at 11 PM. Yeah. Right after my meal, I did one thing. What? Yeah, I drank water. But you see that our body is not built up of anything. It has a mechanism of its own. If you try to understand it, if you try to be observing, if you try to be aware, you will be getting all your answers. So I also be aware. With a little bit help of Ayurveda, I was able to clear it out. With my experience, I was able to conclude this. It is me, dinosaur looking. I ate, okay? It is my stomach. And in this stomach, we have so-called digestive fire. Digestive fire. Yeah, it is easy to imagine that there is a fire in the stomach. But in scientific name, it is called HCl, hydrochloric acid. But you can't imagine an acid, you can't imagine a hydrochloric, you don't know such things. So just imagine a digestive fire. It is easier to imagine. So we have a digestive fire. Okay? When we eat, that digestive fire helps to break down the food that we eat. Without it, the food we ate will not get digested. Simple. It will be undigested. And those undigested food, here as you can see, those undigested food is so-called amp. What is amp? It is the toxin. Okay, that is the toxin. What I talk about in my videos. That undigested food. This is the toxin. Why? Why is it a toxin? Because this food has not been digested. So it just stays on your stomach and you are constipated. You can't evacuate the stool properly because it is stuck somewhere in your colon, getting reabsorbed, pouring impurities in your blood, making your blood impure. So this is the main thing. Okay, but why is that food is not digested? The food is not digested because I drank water. You see that I drank water right after the meal. It is the biggest mistake I did, because see, the body does so much hard work in order to make that digestive fire ready to digest our food. But what we humans do, we just drank water. This water literally extinguished the digestive fire. make it slower, dilutes it. So called that hydrochloric acid get diluted. So what does our body do? Our body is a survival mechanism. It needs to survive. So what our body does? Our body increase the temperature. In simple word, it tried to compensate for that extinguished of fire by increasing the temperature or by trying to again awaken, rekindle this fire. So to do that, we would feel heat. If you observe that right after taking water, right after the meal, you will be feeling heated up. There will be brain fog on your head. You will be feeling lethargic. You will be feeling tired. At the same time, you will be feeling hot. This is the reason. Our body is trying to rekindle that extinguished digestive fire in our stomach. Because of which, this increasing the temperature does one thing in the blood. There are tiny red blood cells, RBCs cells, as you can see. Those cells, red looking cells that goes through the blood. Yeah, those. So those red blood cells burst out. Those red blood cells burst out. Why? Because of getting heated up, they burst out. This have a scientific name called homocysteine. Those bursting out because of heat is called homocysteine. It happens internally. So those red blood cells bursting out, it as a result, our body release those out in a form of whitehead and red blind pimple. Now you would ask me that okay, those red blood cells do get it heated up due to a digestive fire got lower, a temperature got increased, due to which heat got transferred in our blood. Those blood RBCs got it burst out. Okay, but why do we have whiteheads separately? Why do we have blind red pimples separately? Good question. So there is a reason. See, whitehead are caused when you eat a dense, rich, oily food. Usually after that, you will be having whiteheads. It is purely a combination of homocysteine along with blockages which is caused by undigestion of fats. As you can see, if the fat is not digested, you are eating heavy, oily food. If it is not digested properly, it will be creating whiteheads. Whereas, if there is only maximum of just heat increased due to which RBCs or red blood cells has been burst open, you will be finding yourself with a blind red pimple. It can be bigger, smaller, depending on how much heated up your body was and how much burst out of RBCs was done. And one thing is, both of them is caused due to heat. So if you avoid taking water right after the meal, your so-called this digestion will be happy. If you don't take this water right after your meal, your digestion would be happy. And if it is happy, it would not causing temperature up, which will be not opening or not creating RBC bursted out. In simple words, our RBC or red blood cell would not be burst out open. Although your body don't have more things to clean up. Just with avoiding water after meal, you can do this much benefit or this much clearance by avoiding this mistake. And with this mistake, I was able to clear 70%. Yeah, 70% of my acne was reduced by just preventing or just stopping this habit, this water. And you would be asking like, okay, when do we need to drink water? I understand you feel thirsty because the meal was either rough, dry or very spicy. I know you feel thirsty. So to deal with that. You just wait until your stomach feels lighter. You need to observe for 1 to 2 days. You will be able to feel that when your stomach feels lighter, once you drink water, if there is no heat respond, if there is no heat increase or temperature increase, you can drink water. And to simply test, you can take a zip and just see that either my temperature is going up. You just need to be aware. If you do that, you will be safe with this all torture that you are doing unconsciously to your body, and you will be acne free. You don't need skincare. You just need this to be acne free. This. But even after stopping this habit, this unconscious developed habit, there is also one thing that still is gonna make it problematic, still gonna make your pimple, still gonna form more pimples on your face right after your meal. You would probably be doing that, and you could see that video here. Till my next video, never give up and keep on improving.